So I wanted to give you guys an example of how the Lord births a thing, something new, whether it be a new understanding or something that he's speaking prophetically in my life. But right now I'm going to focus on an understanding, something that I have not known before, a deeper revelation of truth or an understanding to something that I had no understanding of before, how he births it and how he confirms it. So when the Lord wants to speak something, wants to show me something new, a lot of times this can come from another brother or sister. And what he does is he will speak something, and where I normally would have rejected that because it seems so far from the truth that I perceive to be the truth, that I would immediately reject it. And so this was a big issue for me, especially when I was stuck in religious traditions. I would immediately reject anything that was, in my understanding, demonic, blasphemous, in error, my understanding of these things. So I would reject what God was trying to do in my life, or what God was trying to show me in my life, because that was my immediate response to anything that I was unfamiliar with. And so nowadays, another brother or sister will plant a seed of something that is far-fetched, seems to be far-fetched to me. And I will leave it there. No longer will I reject it, because there's so much to the depth of God that I do not know. And the moment that we begin to think that we've got it figured out is you can rest assured that we are in ignorance when we are in that position. When we believe we have reached the mark, or when we believe that we have figured something out, that really shows a lack of wisdom. It shows ignorance. And so what God showed me through this process of finding out so many things about God, from when this all started to the feminine aspect of God being embodied in the Holy Spirit. And that's just the beginning. And it was the hardest one for me to break free into this new place that God really wants me to be able to put everything on a plate and just discern what is, at least for me, to be eaten now and what is to be saved for later, because there's so much. God is infinite. He is boundless. He is unknown. It's there. I find it very difficult to describe the Creator, the one that created us, because he is incomprehensible. It is difficult for me to try to find a word for him. So anyways, so I find myself now where another brother or sister, this is the seed planting phase. They will come across the page, they will comment something, and it will seem far-fetched still, because I don't know this. I don't know it. But see, now I don't reject it. I allow it to just sit there. It is a seed underneath the ground of my mind, and God begins to water it. And so then it could be days later, it could be weeks later, it could be months later. God will begin to water that seed. And he highlights that seed. He allows me to remember the seed that was planted. And then from it is birthed understanding and revelation, and a new rock is turned over of truth. That's the way he plants a seed. That's the way the Lord births something new. And the process of allowing God to teach us new things, because if we reject everything that we think is not the truth, or everything seems way out, blasphemous even for some of us that are coming out of religion, we can reject what God is trying to do. So something that he has taught me, which is actually in this all, he's teaching me wisdom. He's teaching me how to discern things, how For each of us, something may be a time for us to know it, and for others it might not be the time. There's so many things that I look back on now that I would not have been able to take from another brother or sister. Many of the things that I'm even sharing on this channel, I would not have been able to eat in a past time of my life. I would not even have listened to this stuff. So this is the growth that I look back on now at what God has done. I don't reject anything that another brother or sister, I allow it to be set before me. And then I allow the Lord to water it, because I can only receive what he allows me to receive at a specific season of my life. But when we come into this comfortable place, knowing that we can trust God, we aren't scared of seeking out these truths, of allowing them to be set before us, to dive into what it is the Lord might be trying to show us. And some things are I can't even say that, because a lot of the things that I thought were not truth, God has revealed with time. I just couldn't receive that truth yet. So there are things in our lives that we just have to be able to discern, that God helps us to discern. There's nothing to fear with anything that seems far-fetched, anything that seems insane, because in time, God will bring it forth to where we can understand what it is he's trying to show us. And then another part of this is, there are many things that God has already revealed to us in our hearts, right? And so along the way, when God is putting his stamp on something, his seal on something, he will confirm what he has already spoken to our hearts by other people. It is only a confirmation of what he's already spoken. And then you see the seeds that are planted when the Lord is trying to birth something new. But complete rejection keeps us from learning. At least seek out. We don't even have to seek. Many times I just put it, he highlights the seed, something that seemed far-fetched for me. I put it aside for now, because there's nothing else, no other information on that. All I know is that there's a seed there, because God has highlighted it. It could possibly be something, it could possibly not. And then the Lord waters what he wants to reveal. And it's an incredible process. I just wanted to share this with you guys, because it's so beautiful to see now how I was completely rejecting a lot of the things that the Lord wanted to teach me. I had hardened myself against being able to be shown the truth. He wanted to show me things, and I was in fear. I was scared of many things. I was scared to read certain books. I was scared to look into certain rituals, things that Satan uses. Now, by his grace, by his ability to teach me how to discern things, how to look at things, how to dissect the truth, he's showing me there's a spiritual intellect that he teaches his kids. And it's not a worldly intellect. It's a spiritual intellect where we use perception. We use the senses of the spirit, where we use discernment. He allows us to ponder on these things. He gives us insight on what is set before us. And then also using the things of this world, which is, you can use logic. A lot of these things are so simple. A lot of the things that God is revealing to me, because I need things simple, I'm able to use logical sense, common sense on some of the things, even breaking free from some of these patterns that I was stuck in. So anyways, God bless you guys.